The banners of the Forsaken Empire fluttered high above the battlefield, torn by wind and fire yet unyielding, just like the warriors beneath them. Shizumura stood at the center with his sword of destiny, his voice commanding, his sword glowing with red smoke that coiled like a living storm. But though he led, he was never alone. Around him fought the heart of the empire, brothers and sisters whose names would be etched into legend. Dark Wolf, half-human, half-wolf, was the first to charge into the fray. Cloaked in shadows, he struck with the ferocity of his namesake, cutting through enemy lines with swift and merciless precision. Where Dark Wolf prowled, invaders faltered, their courage consumed by the predator's bite. At his side fought Beauty, an Asian goddess, not only in name but in spirit. Her presence on the battlefield was a beacon to her allies, her harp-like war cries rising above the chaos, steadying hearts that wavered. With every strike of her blade, she reminded them what they fought for: love, loyalty, and the bond of family that the Forsaken Empire had an alliance. Bobby, the Spanish masked villain, held the shield wall, unmovable as the mountains themselves. Enemy after enemy crashed against him, yet his stance never broke. His shield bore dents and scars from countless wars, but his will was untouchable. Behind Bobby's steadfast defense, others found the courage to press forward. Surge, the bloodthirsty strategist, orchestrated maneuvers as the battle unfolded. His voice carried commands sharp as steel, turning chaos into order, scattering the enemy's advances like sand before the wind. He was the mind of the Forsaken, and his brilliance shone brightest when the odds were darkest. Miranda, knight in black armor, fierce and unrelenting, he fought like fire unleashed. His strikes were a storm of sparks, his laughter defiant even in the thick of battle. He was the spark that lit the hearts of those around him, reminding the Empire that passion could burn brighter than fear. Woundedly, always high on weed with red eyes, moved like lightning through the battlefield, striking down foes before they even knew he was there. Quick-witted and quicker with his blade, he was the chaos that tore through enemy ranks, leaving confusion in his wake and hope in his allies' eyes. Tegrity, a crazy chef, fought with a quiet strength, each swing of his weapon steady and true. He was the anchor amidst the storm, unshaken no matter how fierce the clash became. In him, the Empire found its balance, its unbreakable spine. Giyu, Japanese warrior, the silent blade, the ghost among shadows. Few ever saw him strike, but when they did, it was already too late. His loyalty was not in words, but in deeds, the kind that turned the tide of battle when all seemed lost. Jack's roar could be heard across the fields, a cry that thundered louder than war drums. He was the hammer that smashed through enemy ranks, his courage infectious, his presence impossible to ignore. Where Jack fought, allies surged forward with newfound fury. Elf, a blue elf warrior with a bow, arrows infused with lightning that shatters the sky. Enemies tremble when they hear his name. His skills in battle are unreal, something others only dream of. Deadman, an undead warrior with blood on his hands, always looking to decapitate his enemies. Just like a ghost in the night, he haunts foes in their dreams. And Papichulo, hairy chest and gay, relentless and fierce, was the flame that refused to die. His laughter rang out even amidst the clash of steel, a fearless defiance that unnerved enemies and inspired allies. He carried the joy of battle, turning struggle into triumph, reminding all that the Forsaken spirit could never be extinguished. Together they were more than warriors. They were the living embodiment of the Empire's creed: to fight with heart, to defend the silenced, and to never surrender. Side by side with Shizumura, they carved their legend into the very soil of Realm 1135. By the day's end, the battlefield lay quiet. The invaders had been driven back once more, their banners broken, their spirits shattered. The Forsaken Empire stood victorious not because of strength alone, but because of unity. Because each warrior fought not for themselves, but for each other, and for the people who placed their hope in them. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Shizumura raised his sword high. The warriors gathered, bloodied but unbowed, their eyes fixed on the horizon. "Remember this day," Shizumura declared, "for it is not the walls that protect this realm, nor the weapons we wield. It is the hearts of its people and the courage of its warriors. So long as one of us stands, the Forsaken Empire shall never fall."